Good afternoon everyone, my name is Aswani from NR Institute of Business Administration. Today we are interviewing Mr. Rahul. Thank you Mr. Rahul for giving this valuable time. Now first of all, we would start with who is Mr. Rahul and what is your startup all about?
My name is Rahul Bhagchandani. I started Youth Connect back in 2010. Our first product in the market came out in 2012. It was a print magazine, one of its kind for the youth. Until 2015 March, we hadn't had any full-time person. So between 2010 and 2015, we have had a completely voluntary organization running an enterprise. I also graduated just last year. So Youth Connect has been able to redefine what volunteers can do in the country. And today we are a digital-only media platform, and we serve more than 2 million readers every month. And it is one of the fastest-growing media platforms.
That's great. So you said you started your business while you were in college. So you started all by yourself or there were other co-founders with you?
Initially, my partner and I decided to do something like this. Devesh now handles the sales and marketing for Youth Connect, and he was the one who wanted to create a newspaper for his own college, and he did not have any writing skills, so he approached me. We were friends from school, so I decided if we are going to put in so much work, why not do it for the entire city and not just his own particular college. And then we had the next day we had our friends join the team, and we just a couple of months later we decided a newspaper would be as nice as a magazine. Yeah.
So now what ignited the spark in you to start this particular business venture?
Basically, in media there is a problem that not a lot of content is created for the youth. India is one of the youngest countries in the world. But the amount of content there is for the youth, for this segment, is very little. That was one motivation. The other motivation, being a writer myself, I never got published before Youth Connect in a print monthly or a print magazine or a print newspaper. It was once or twice. Of course, I was young and my writing wasn't near perfect. But at the same time, this was a very huge motivation as a writer to give other writers a platform. So that was another very significant motivation.
So was this your first business idea or you had some other business ideas also but you could not translate it into a
I'm not sure. A year before I started Youth Connect, I earned like 3,000 rupees as a 15-year-old writing for other publications. My father is a professor at LD Engineering, but we have a very old family business of firecrackers. And so I come from a very entrepreneurial background. My grandfather, you must have heard firecrackers of Shivakashi, right? So my grandfather was the one who introduced Shivakashi fireworks in Northwest and East India. They were already popular in South India. So since I was 8 years old, my cousins so my family background is wholesale business, family business, wholesale fireworks. So it's always on, 12 months. But 10 days around Diwali, we have a retail outlet, and all of that is managed by me and my cousins. So since I was 8 years old, I started, going to that shop and handling the counter and talking to people, introducing them to fireworks. So I think that was my initial exposure to entrepreneurship.
So while childhood or a small child, what did you want to become when you grew up?
A lot of things, I think. Initially as a 3-4-year-old, every child wants to be a doctor, right? After that, I had a huge fascination with cars. Still have. I wanted to be an automobile engineer and designer till I was in 10th standard. When I realized automobile engineering will require me to go into mechanical, which I hated, and automobile designing will require me to have some drawing skills, and I couldn't still draw a straight line. So I've always had the fascination of writing since I was 8-9 years old, and the idea of becoming a journalist excited me. When I started writing for my school magazine, having an opinion and sharing it with the world, that passionate in it. So maybe that's what translates.
So now Youth Connect, as we all know, is a very famous, portal, media portal now. But what do you wish you know before when you started this business? Now, what do you think that this one thing I should have known at that time before starting this business?
I think a lot of things. One of the primary things would be to be, to have that patience. As a young entrepreneur, you always want to run ahead. Right? Patience applies to so many things. That is to sticking around with your idea. Other thing is when you have a lot of money in the bank, do not go ahead and just reinvest everything. That's one of the biggest mistakes that I have made personally. That making a lot of money and then reinvesting every bit, every last penny, not foreseeing the consequences. So I think
Now, every entrepreneur has some betted on moments in their entrepreneurial journey. What was your betted on moment?
lots of them, lots of them. Like I said, we started back in 2010. I just started college and our print didn't came out till 2012. So most of the battle on moment came during that time. Sometimes my editorial team did not have any person other than me and one more person. That's it. Sometimes it's very hard to convince people. Sometimes we would go to advertisers in Ahmedabad and in Gujarat, and we would in one day we would explore 50 clients and not one would give any money to us. So there have been a lot of battle down. One of the significant one was, I think, when we were almost ready in 2011 to come out with the magazine, but we could late 2011.
So, what have been some of your failures?
Failures, I think I would have been more happy. I struggled a little bit in 12th standard. In 10th, I scored 89%, and in 12th, I scored 65%, I think, against my expectations. And my good scores were very, very horrendous. I swear, I think 30, 40 marks out of 120. And which like I wanted to come and study in LD or, nice. And everybody said you have the potential and, not being up to the mark. I think that, but when I look back, I think it was the best thing that happened to me. It was a failure, but I think it was the best thing that happened to me.
What have you learned from this?
I think what I have learned is the fact that everything happens for a reason. Had I went to a college like NJ, which has stricter rules, I may not have been able to dedicate so much time to Youth Connect, and I may not have been sitting here.
So, outline your typical day.
There's no typical day for me because until last 2 months ago, I had a typical day. I would start my day at 12:30 to 1 p.m. and I would work till 6:30 a.m. So I would work through the nights, and I started to realize this is not working out. And the biggest concern is if I start my day at 12, all the people who I want to meet have already started their day at 8 o'clock, and half of their day is gone. So I can only meet half the people today than I can actually. So now I'm trying to fix my schedules, and now I have a very weird weekend.
I also have the same problem.
Yeah.
So, what or who really motivates you?
Lots of people. Steve Jobs motivates me, and Rahul because of the kind of
Patience.
patience and dedication and temperament he has, and I think Tim Cook motivates me now because taking something that someone like Steve Jobs created and then taking something like Steve Jobs created and stabilizing it and taking it further ahead.
So, what is your biggest fear in life, or I should say this business? What is the biggest fear you have in this business?
None actually. I try to mitigate all the fears. I don't give a lot of time. I mean, if something bothers me, I just not give them any attention. So I wouldn't be able to pinpoint on a particular. Of course, everybody has their own particular set of fears, but then I try not to give any attention to them. So I wouldn't be able to pinpoint something.
So, we all know a very successful entrepreneur. So how do you define success?
If you're able to achieve your own set goals and a little more in the specified time period, then you are successful. Doesn't matter what other people say, doesn't matter what, if you get an award, if you don't get an award, if you get investment, if you don't get an investment, if you stand where you wish you would.
Self-satisfaction is
Yes.
most. Now, if you could talk to one person from history, who would you talk to?
Very difficult. I would talk to a lot of people actually. But yeah, I think I would pick Steve Jobs again. He's my biggest inspiration. Yeah, biggest inspiration. I would ask him a lot of things. First thing being why he has to be such a jerk. Yeah.
Do you believe on any sort of pattern or formula to become a successful entrepreneur?
No, not at all. I think everybody has carved their own road, and life is full of surprises and possibilities. So the number of permutation combinations are fascinating. So you can't put a formula on this. Not at all.
So, what is your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
The ability to solve a problem and then help people with that solution. I think the best thing.
So, what has been the most satisfying moment in your business?
I have, in the last 6 months, I think one of the most satisfying moments is to give a lot of people their first paychecks ever. And the fact that my team, don't need to brag, but my team calls me the best boss ever. So yeah, and the fact that people get published on Youth Connect in print, off online, and the fact that they get their names, their bylines on their articles, struggling writers getting published, and then sending us, thank you so much. Nobody was publishing us and you did. That's a very smooth satisfaction.
So, what do you think is the major difference between an entrepreneur and the person who works for others?
I think being a leader and being someone who's in charge is rather overrated in terms of how much fun their life is. I think sometimes I want to work for someone else because you do not have the answers. You have to take care of 20 people and you have to have the answers for everyone and for entire organization. And one deviation of yours from the correct answer might just
Disaster.
yeah, it could be a disaster. So yes,
In one word, characterize your life as an entrepreneur.
awesome.
And now, exploring your business, which company or business you admire the most?
In my field, I would say in today's generation, BuzzFeed. From something from very conventional to Indian Express, because the way they have been able to still hold that journalistic principles. Overall, I would have a lot of respect for Tesla and yeah.
We all know that to be successful, we have to make some sacrifices. So, what sacrifices you would like to make in your life, to reach this point?
Every day you make some sacrifices, especially you are an entrepreneur. I did compromise my education to an extent, not a lot. I ended up with a CGPA of 7, which I could have had 8.5 or something. Sometimes, I have to give more attention to my work than my family. My mom wants me to get something done. My sister wants help with something. My dad wants help with something. My friend wants help with something. Sometimes you have to compromise that for your
Where do you see yourself in your business in the coming next 10 years?
very difficult question, and next 3-4 years, we would like to see it grow. And right now we are 2 million readers. We want to be in the next 3 years serving 100 million readers across different platforms. So yeah, 10 years is a huge time in this.
So if you would have a chance to start your business again, what would be the difference? What difference would make?
I'll start with online first, then think about print.
So now what is your advice to those people like me who want to be an entrepreneur in the future?
Don't listen to a lot of advice. Yeah, man. I mean, the thing with advice is, you never know. Look at, for instance, if you know the story of Irfan Pathan. Irfan Pathan started as a great cricketer in 2003, took a hat-trick, and then everybody started telling him what to do. Wasim Akram told him what to do, Waqar Yunus told him what to do, Shoaib Akhtar told him what to do, Jawahar Srinath told him what to do, Nehra told him what to do, Zahir told him what to do, even Kumble told him what to do. So the thing is that, advice can be very bad. Listen to your gut, not listen to a lot of advice.
What was the best piece of advice that you had gotten?
Because I don't give a lot of attention to advice, I'm not sure. But I think what I've gained from different experiences over the period of time is, you really need to, if you have a team, and if you are in charge of them, you have to keep them happy, and you have to be very fair to them, and you have to be very ethical. You have to pay them well, and you have to listen. You have to take hints. Today, if 3 people are talking about how difficult their life is becoming, a good portion is because of your company. So you need to make a gesture like give them a 2-day holiday, go take a break, because your team defines your own success. Your entire organization doesn't depend on you. You take decisions, but the heavy lifting is being done by your team. So if you have a team, if you are responsible for them, make sure you are very fair and very, 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 very good with them.
And so we come to the last question. Now, if you were conducting this interview in case of me and some other entrepreneur on the stage, now what one question would you ask them?
I think the question I would ask them is what was the biggest challenge they faced and how did they overcome it?
So thank you, Mr. Rahul, for being so well.